Our world is shrinking. Thanks to technology, we can now talk to someone across the globe in an instant. We can share ideas, cultures, and dreams at the speed of light. This interconnectedness has brought about many wonders. Imagine a world without wars, where resources are shared fairly and everyone has a voice. The desire for a single, unified world government has deep roots. Ancient philosophers like Plato envisioned ideal societies ruled by wisdom and justice. These ideas have resonated through the ages, inspiring thinkers and leaders alike. The devastation of World War I and II further fueled the call for global unity. The horrors of those conflicts made it clear that international cooperation was not just desirable, but essential for human survival. The creation of the United Nations in 1945 was a direct response to this need. It aimed to prevent future wars and foster dialogue between nations. However, the path towards a world government is fraught with obstacles. The world is a tapestry of diverse cultures, languages, and ideologies. Reconciling these differences and finding common ground is a monumental task. Moreover, the practicalities of governing a global population with its myriad needs and challenges are staggering. From logistics and infrastructure to resource allocation and law enforcement, the complexities are enormous. Proponents of a world government argue that it would usher in an era of unprecedented peace. With a single entity holding sway over all nations, wars would become a relic of the past. Conflicts could be resolved through diplomacy and peaceful means, saving countless lives and resources. Furthermore, a world government could effectively address transnational issues like climate change and terrorism, which require global cooperation to solve. By pooling resources and expertise, humanity could tackle these challenges head-on. Imagine a world where environmental regulations are enforced globally, ensuring the health of our planet for generations to come. Picture a world where resources are distributed equitably, eradicating poverty and hunger. These are just some of the potential benefits of a world united under a single banner. However, critics argue that achieving world peace through a single government is a utopian fantasy. They point to the historical failures of empires and federations, often plagued by internal strife and power struggles. One of the most compelling arguments for a world government is its potential to ensure a more equitable distribution of resources. Imagine a world where everyone has access to clean water, nutritious food, and quality healthcare, regardless of where they are born. A world government could effectively manage and allocate resources based on need, rather than national borders. This would help alleviate poverty, reduce inequality, and promote global prosperity. Furthermore, a unified global economy could streamline trade and reduce waste. By eliminating trade barriers and coordinating economic policies, a world government could create a more efficient and sustainable global market. This could lead to increased innovation, job creation, and a higher standard of living for everyone. However, critics argue that a world government would be ill-equipped to manage the complexities of the global economy. Section 5. The power of a single economy. A single, unified global economy could bring about unprecedented prosperity. With barriers to trade removed and a single currency in place, commerce could flow freely across borders. This would lead to increased competition, lower prices for consumers, and a surge in global trade. A world government could also implement standardized regulations and policies, making it easier for businesses to operate on a global scale. This would encourage foreign investment, boost innovation, and create new jobs worldwide. However, critics argue that a world government would stifle innovation and entrepreneurship. They believe that competition between nations is essential for driving progress and that a single monolithic government would stifle economic freedom. They also point to the potential for corruption and mismanagement in a centralized global economy. Section 6. The shadow of corruption. One of the biggest fears surrounding a world government is the potential for corruption. With so much power concentrated in one entity, the risk of abuse and tyranny is a significant concern. History is rife with examples of governments becoming oppressive and exploitative. Critics argue that a world government would be even more susceptible to corruption than existing national governments. They point to the vast bureaucracy and lack of accountability that would inevitably plague such a large and complex organization. Furthermore, The absence of competition and checks and balances could create an environment where corruption could flourish unchecked. Without alternative power structures to challenge it, a corrupt world government could become an oppressive force, infringing on individual liberties and freedoms. However, proponents argue that a world government could be structured in a way that minimizes the risk of corruption. They envision a system with multiple layers of checks and balances, transparency mechanisms, and a strong emphasis on accountability. Section 7. The Tapestry of Cultures. One of the most significant challenges to a world government is the sheer diversity of human cultures and values. Our world is a rich tapestry of languages, religions, traditions, and beliefs. Reconciling these differences and finding common ground upon which to build a unified global society would be a monumental task. Critics argue that a world government would inevitably lead to cultural homogenization, erasing the unique identities of individual nations and communities. They fear that a globalized culture would lack the richness and vibrancy of our current diverse world. However, proponents of a world government argue that unity does not necessitate uniformity. They envision a world where cultural differences are celebrated and respected, even as humanity unites under a common banner of shared values and aspirations. They believe that a world government could foster cross-cultural understanding and appreciation, promoting peace and cooperation rather than division and conflict. Section 8. The Hurdles of Global Management. The logistics of managing a world government would be staggeringly complex. Consider the challenges of coordinating infrastructure projects, disaster relief efforts, and resource allocation on a global scale. From language barriers and time zones to varying levels of technological development, the practical hurdles are immense. Critics argue that a world government would be too bureaucratic and inefficient to effectively address these challenges. Furthermore, they point to the difficulty of enforcing laws and maintaining order across such a vast and diverse population. Ensuring compliance with global regulations and preventing conflict in every corner of the world would require an unprecedented level of coordination and resources. However, proponents argue that technological advancements could help overcome these logistical challenges. They envision a future where artificial intelligence, big data, and advanced communication systems could be harnessed to manage the complexities of a world government effectively. Section 9. The United Nations, a Step Forward. The United Nations, established in 1945, represents the closest humanity has come to forming a world government. While not a governing body in the truest sense, the UN serves as a platform for international cooperation and diplomacy. It has played a crucial role in preventing conflicts, providing humanitarian aid, and promoting human rights worldwide. However, the UN has its limitations. Its effectiveness is often hampered by the veto power held by the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, as well as the lack of enforcement power for its resolutions. Critics argue that the UN is toothless and often fails to act decisively in the face of crises. They point to ongoing conflicts, human rights abuses, and the lack of progress on issues like climate change as evidence of the UN's shortcomings. However, despite its flaws, the UN remains a vital symbol of international cooperation and a testament to humanity's desire for a more peaceful and unified world. It serves as a valuable platform for dialogue, diplomacy, and collective action. Section 10. A Glimpse into the Future. Predicting the future is always a risky proposition, but one thing is certain: our world is becoming increasingly interconnected. Technological advancements, globalization, and the pressing need to address global challenges are pushing us closer together than ever before. Whether this will eventually lead to the formation of a world government remains to be seen. However, it is crucial that we engage in thoughtful and informed discussions about the future of global governance. We must carefully weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks of a world united under a single banner. We must consider the ethical implications, the practical challenges, and the impact on individual freedoms and cultural identities. The question of whether a world government could work is complex and multifaceted. There are no easy answers, only difficult choices that will shape the destiny of humanity. Section 11. To unite or not to unite. The concept of a world government sparks both hope and apprehension. It represents a fundamental question about humanity and our ability to transcend differences. The idea of a world united in peace is alluring, but challenges are significant. Each individual must grapple with whether a world government could work. There is no right or wrong answer, only different perspectives. We must engage in open dialogue about the future of global governance. Approach this issue with optimism and caution, recognizing both benefits and dangers.